Hi, good morning, everybody. I have been studying Kabbalah for quite a few years. And as you know, I'm a psychic and I do palm reading as well. Now, I did this course about face reading and palm reading. And as I am as curious as a monkey, of course, I wanted to see what Kabbalah was saying about some of the things I already knew. But what I didn't expect was the amount of information that I actually got from the face reading. Now, imagine this. You need to find a new member for your staff, for example. Or you're looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Imagine if by looking at them, just looking at them, you can start to have an idea about their character, about the way they behave, about, for example, the speed at which they get information. So are you going to find, let's say, the new boyfriend that actually just needs a few words and understand exactly what you're talking about? Or are you going to find the new boyfriend that you need to talk for 24 hours before he gets what you're talking about? Right?
Or 24 years.
Or 24 years, that's more like it, isn't it? I totally agree. That's the house. You had the longer time, but it still doesn't work, huh?
It's been longer than that as well. It's been hard.
I admire you for your tenacity. Okay, so Kabbalah. What is Kabbalah? It's an ancient method that teaches you how the universe and the energies work so that you can use them at the best for your own advantage. Now, when you see, for example, if you see someone's face, okay, first of all, remember, it can take up to 7 years for the lines on your face to change. So you might be looking at something that was happening in the past for this person, but slowly is changing. Okay, let's go back to the boyfriend or girlfriend, because it's exactly the same. The lines are the same for men and women, so you don't have to remember two different things. Now, you see sometimes there are, especially I've seen it in men, a bit less in women, there's a little line that goes exactly across the nose. Have you ever seen that when they do this? You see the kch. Be careful. That means he's a womanizer.
Sorry, is it straight?
Straight across.
Oh!
Ah! We got a womanizer in the room! Ay, ay, ay! Oh, Santidad! But what did I tell you? It can take 7 years to clear up. So it might be he's in the clearing bits of things. He's not actively womanizing. Right? Right? He's going. I am assured he's going. Now, have a look, for example, if the face is symmetric. Because what I've learned, which I find it a bit kind of shaky, but what I learned is if someone has got a very asymmetric face, there could have been some serious problems at the time of conception, all the way down to rape. So you can find, depending from the level of things that you want to learn, you can find different information. Now, before I forget, I am going to give you all these things, but if you can't be bothered to take notes and you just want to follow me, I'm going to pass on, if you can write your name and everything, and I'm going to pass on the sheet so that if you want, I will send you the information for this talk. And as well, if you want, I'm having a half-a-day workshop on the 16th of April to go in much more depth, because obviously today I only got 10 minutes. So if you want to learn about these things, by all means, put your name and your information and I will contact you about it. So, let's go back to very basic stuff. Imagine this. We start from the hair. Now, how many of you girls have changed the original color of the hair into something different? Definitely me. I was a blonde. Might not look it, but I was a blonde, blue eye, sweetie looking baby that was always up to no good, but nobody thought about that. Okay? Now, blonde hair gives you a steady flow of energy. Red hair gives you a much more woomph type of energy. So if you're very tired and you put even a red wig, that has got some influence on what you're doing. And I know of someone who looks gorgeous in a red wig, because I've seen the pictures, but you would never think that she's wearing them normally, does she? So,
Leonie, is this you?
Leonie, that's her. I've seen her dressed in the 1960s, big, long, curly red. She looks amazing. I think you should do that hairstyle properly, not just as a wig. But anyway, so let me give you a quick recap for the hair. Red hair, you're talking about someone that can be wild, is very enthusiastic, high energy. So, for example, you're working on the team for your new business. Do you want someone that needs to be on the ball and really quick with blonde hair? Not really. If she's got red hair, you know she will be highly energized, so she will be carrying on a lot of work in a fast speed. Black hair is very strong, steady energy. So, for example, I don't know, if you're looking for a nanny for your children, then perhaps go for the black hair because she will be able to have an even type of energy. Brown hair and blonde hair is exactly the same. They're quite good at slow pace, but quite constant things. And then white or gray hair is actually someone who is much more relaxed about life and things. So if you are in a high stress environment, take a gray hair person and she will actually bring this kind of calmness to the place. You bring a red hair person, she's going to get everybody like schizophrenics, right? So the style of the hair, is it curly or is it straight? Because when they're curly, imagine red hair and curly, they get quickly bored, everything must be done really fast and everything. So this is not the kind of receptionist on a dentist kind of place that you will find, right? Because she's going to get everybody like this before they even get on the dentist chair. While if you got straight hair, it's more balanced. Imagine, if you imagine water going through it, if it's going curly, 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 it's different than going nice and flow and steady, okay? Now, when you change the color, remember that you will actually have a change in your energy flow. So don't take it so lightly. And this is why so many people change the hair color. They feel uncomfortable about it, and then they go back to the original color because the energy changes and they can't hang on to it. Now, who has ever woken up with just one lock of hair standing up, and no matter what you do, you can tongue it, you can head right, you can do whatever you want, it's sticking up like this? Have you ever done it? Do you know why? Either you've been upset the day before, or you are being angry and judgmental. Now have a look at your hair in the morning and think about that when you're doing it, right?
About a bad haircut.
A bad haircut would not necessarily have that lock standing up all the time. It would have different kind of things. I know my mom, she's got a very good haircut, but her hair is totally wild. So every morning she wakes up with a different hairstyle. You know? The other thing, if someone loses the hair in their 20s, generally it might mean that they are not very trustworthy.
Explains a lot.
Does it? Okay, now we have to look at the whole face, right? So let's start from the forehead. That already gives you a very good indication of what kind of person you got in front of you. If you think about, if you got a round, nice forehead, it's someone that's quite balanced, that loves logic, that loves things done with some kind of proper criteria. If you got a small forehead, it might be someone that is underdeveloped in one specific area of his or her life. So, for example, it can be very smart, but doesn't take action. You know? So, on the forehead, imagine from the hair line, you've got 3 areas, okay, going up to your eyebrows. Now, the first area is the logic. So if they've got the top part quite developed, you know it's someone quite scientific, quite logical, quite organized in that way. The second part is your memory. So if you've got the middle part quite developed, you are someone that will remember lots of details and things like that. This part here is about intuition. So if you get someone with red curly hair and a big strong part here, it's like having a wild animal in the room. You got to run because they will get antennas about whatever you want to do even before you realize you're doing it. Okay? So run.
I know. What do you mean when you say strong
You know, some people, okay, imagine Neanderthal.
Yeah.
They have really bumpy bit here, right?
Like you.
Well, that means it's got very good antennas. That's all it works, right?
And I'm gonna have red hairs.
You're going to have red hair as well. I like that. I like that. But so basically, someone that has got the bumpy bit at the forehead, on the eyebrows, and red hair and everything, is quite animalistic in its instincts. So it can really pick up on you, whatever you do. So if you're someone that wants to keep his or her business quite secret, don't go close to this person. Just find something else to do, okay? Now, there are several lines that run across the forehead, generally up to 7 or 8. Now, they start counting. Number 1 is close to the hairline, and then you're going down. The third line is about sex.
Very interesting.
Now, if it's got just one straight line, you're fine, don't worry about it. But if it's got 2 broken lines, we are talking troubles. Why? We are talking adultery. We are talking all sorts of being way too frisky for his or her own good. We are talking, basically, the Venus is not in balance. But if they are broken down, but the central part points down, you're actually talking about a previous life, because your face can have things about past lives. And it means that that person used to be a sex worker or a slave that had to do sex or whatever in the past life. Are you all looking in the mirrors and thinking who's got what? Or are you looking at each other going, ah? Yes.
Do you mean lines are short when they do like
Yes.
tip your eyebrow, or just normally? Normal.
It doesn't matter. When you do this, you generally shrink. And if someone has had Botox and they are trying to cheat, when you squeeze it, they will still come out. So don't be stopped by Botox. That's nothing to us, right?
But you can squeeze all Botox out.
Now, how many people do you know that have got lines in between the eyebrows here? Almost everybody's got them, right? Do you have 2? Thank you. Do you have 2 lines or 1 line? If you have 2 lines, you're very generous, you're thinking about other people. If you have 1 line, you are selfish. So you better work on that, because you got 7 years for that lines to change in your face. Now, as I only have a couple of minutes, I really have to wrap up. The last thing I want to tell you is about lips. Now, if you see lips like mine are quite full, it means, as you can see, I can chat a lot. And if you got someone with really thin lips, they will keep a secret even under torture. So if you want someone that will tell you all his business or her business, you better have big lips. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of work for nothing. Right? Now, let me tell you quickly, as I said, there's so much. We got the nose, we got the ears, we got so many other things we got to talk about. Unfortunately, I don't have the time for this today. So there's going to be a course in Croydon. It's just half a day. And as you can see on the paper that I've been sending around, you can tick if you're interested. It's going to be £47 as an early bird. On the 16th of April, there's going to be the face reading. But then on the 14th of May, there's going to be the palm reading. Because that's quite interesting as well for yourselves as well. When you want to see your changes and the things, you can see it in the palms. So it's £87 if you book both of them, or only £47 if you book one of each. And just, I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you come to the workshop, because there is so much to learn. It's just unbelievable. The only warning is, if you then become paranoid that you're looking at everybody and counting line and all that, don't blame me. I'm just teaching you that, but it doesn't mean that I take responsibility for it. All right?
Okay, any questions for Anna?
urgent question? No, then I'll wrap up and you can always talk to Anna later. Now, I hope you all enjoyed our